Aerospace. Any country must prioritize its development. However, it might be extremely challenging for some nations with weak technical capacities to advance the aerospace industry. This moment, many nations will decide to join in on some of the cooperation space powers are between. The best illustration of this is the International Space Station. Many nations work together to build the International Space Station, and the United States is one of the main contributors. In the event that certain nations wish to apply for space station entry, they have to have NASA's and their nation's approval. However, some nations have an extremely bad luck. The United States and NASA rejected them, as well as Poland is a nation, the one of them. Poland intends to approach China for assistance in a desperate attempt to join the Tiangong space station. China will then consent to Poland joining. Before we go on, subscribe to Cha News to watch about the most shocking and amazing world projects. You won't regret it. Ready? Let's begin. The International Space Station is often the first thing friends think of when discussing the space station. Due to the fact that this space platform, which weighs more than 400 tons, is the largest one currently in orbit. 16 nations throughout the world collaborated on its construction and utilization. Also included is the International Space Station, an experiment in space, equipped with cutting-edge scientific research tools and portable. A significant extent, scientific investigation has played a significant part in the outer space exploration of humans. Space, Tiangong, a Chinese space station, now exists alongside the International Space Station. Tiangong's name translates to constructing a palace in the sky. It reminds me of a mythical tale from ancient China. It is said that the Tiangong space station, constructed by China, weighs 180 tons overall and has a design service life of 10 years. Right now, the Tiangong space station is known to support more than 1,000 research projects on space life, space materials, and fundamental physics. Likewise, orbital combustion. The space station is the largest spaceship because it has been an orbital carrier for a long time. Human history. The space station can provide humans with long-term satisfaction regarding orbit, living, and work in addition to its natural, high vacuum. Even in microgravity and in a spotless environment, you can carry. Promote the advancement of science and technology by disseminating various scientific and technological studies. It is clear that having a space station can have a significant positive impact on a nation's economy and society. The space station has gradually become into a significant symbol for assessing a nation's economy, technology, and all-encompassing national power, and has gradually gained significant worth from space powers. The 20th century, the capability of Chinese aerospace was insufficient. In the shortest time feasible, catch up to the major aerospace giants. 3 engineers from China were sent to Russia at great expense to study aircraft technologies. Furthermore, China previously spent a significant amount of money purchasing American aerospace technology, but it remained unable to catch, along with the United States, Russia's space program. To this purpose, China once requested to join the International Space Station from the United States, but the request was denied. In the United States by NASA, what transpired? Considering the grounds on which the United States believed that China's aerospace technology was superior, but NASA rejected China at the time, was so faint that doing project research in orbit was difficult. Additionally, joining the International Space Program was useless. Despite the fact that this reason has some validity, the United States' fundamental rejection of China by NASA is due to this. Is extremely concerned about the development of Chinese aerospace technology and expressed concern that the United States' position in the space industry will be negatively impacted by this. Therefore, the United States has no choice but to reject China's membership application to the International Space Station. But the United States has turned down business with a number of other countries in addition to China. One of these countries is Poland. The connection between them. There is a gap between Poland and the United States. Very near as well as there. The relationship with the Rapid can be seen as one of brotherhood. Progress made in Poland's economic situation. They want to increase the amount of influence that they have in the world. Poland decided to begin. They wanted to work in the aircraft business, so they submitted their application. In order to become a member of the International Space Station, NASA of the United States has applied. On the other hand, the United States did not accept them. In point of fact, Poland possesses a highly robust aerospace industry. This nation possessed a wide range of capabilities in terms of aircraft manufacture and maintenance during the beginning of the 20th century. In 2007, Poland became an official partner country of South Africa after becoming a member of ESA. You should be aware that the European Space Agency holds the 6th best aerospace strength ranking in the entire world. The relationship between Poland and the United States of America can be conceptualized as a powerful cooperation. So the question remains, why did the American NASA not choose Poland? To be certain, the United States of America did not accept Poland as a candidate for astronaut residency, mostly due to the fact that an excessive number of individuals have boarded the International Space Station in the same batch, which has reached its top limit. The International Space Station has reached its maximum capacity. NASA and the United States of America rejected, not simply for the purpose of defending the International Space Station, Poland, but also because of the financial support that is provided for its operations. Despite the fact that the American NANS is quite strong, despite their aerospace skills, they do not own a spacecraft that is capable of traveling to the International Space Station. Every time a member of the United States National Security Agency conducts research aboard the International Space Station, OD is rented by it, Russian Soyuz spacecraft. The United States does not want to rent once because the cost is too high and they do not want to make up for the previous one. Fee. As the lifespan of the International Space Station draws to a close, it is time to get things in order. To improve the growth of their aviation sector of the economy, a request to join the Tiangong Space Station has been submitted to China by the space powers. Will China, then, turn its back on weaker nations like the United States and on foreigners? The United States of America is one of a total of 27 countries from around the world that have submitted an application to join China's Tiangong Space Station, as indicated by the survey. But this only applies to China. It was decided that we would cooperate. Applications from 16 different nations are included, countries such as Russia and Japan that have developed great capabilities in the aircraft industry. Countries like Saudi Arabia and China have relatively limited capabilities in space, yet there are also countries like these. Strong in the United States of America is NASA. China did not accept the country's application to join the Tiangong Space Station despite the country's strong aerospace capability. Therefore, some members of the media have hypothesized that China's refusal to do business with the United States was due to its anxiety that the indigenous people of North America would break into the Chinese space station and seize its cutting-edge equipment. But at this point, I believe that this is nothing more than a rumor. The tenacity of the aircraft industry, in the rankings of both NASA and the United States, the very first of its kind, superior to that of China. In addition, there is no reason to steal the technology used by China's space station. The Wolf Clause, which precludes space collaboration between China and the United States, is the primary factor contributing to China's decision to not work with the United States. Another rationale for this is that China's needs have not been satisfied by the United States. For instance, learning Chinese would need to include physical exercise that satisfies the requirements of China, etc. It is common knowledge that the Chinese language is one of the most hardest to master of all the languages in the world. The United States was unable to respond to China's request for a while. Second, China will not cut off relations with any nations with limited capabilities in the aerospace industry. The restrictions that China has imposed on other nations in order for them to become members of the Tiangong Space Station are relatively straightforward. It is only required to submit project applications that meet the standards specified by China in terms of the technological and scientific worth of the proposed projects. The conditions for this are significantly less stringent than those for the International Space Station. In times gone by, participation in research programs aboard the International Space Station was challenging for nations that lacked strong capabilities in the aerospace industry. In addition, this led to scientists. In these countries, there is a lack of comprehension. Programs of scientific research in the aerospace industry so that their scientific research, up until now, there has been a steady increase in strength. They were offered the opportunity to travel into space thanks to China's Tiangong Space Station. It is a point that cannot be overstated. The reason China does this is not only to improve its ability to carry out friendly relations with other countries, but also to provide opportunities for scientific research and space experiments to researchers all over the world. In addition to this, China has a louder voice and more supporters in the international arena. What are your plans then? Consider the Tianwen Space Station, which is operated by China. Thanks for watching. Click on these videos to watch about another amazing project you didn't know about.